Good morning, and good morning to you, Anne. This one's for you. So the key is to take actions. So Abe Lincoln once said, things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who actually hustle. John Ruskin once said, what we think about or what we know or what we believe is, in the end, of little consequence. The only consequence is what we actually do. I always say to people, when you're going out and you're going to do something, always remember the phrase, ready, fire, aim. Not ready, aim, fire. Preparation is not the key here. It's actually going out and doing it. So the world doesn't pay you for what you know. It pays you for what you actually do. There's an enduring axiom of success that says the universe rewards action. Yet simple and as true as the principle is, it's surprising how many people get bogged down in analysing, planning and organising when what they really need to do to take action itself. I've done it before. Procrastination's a killer. Just do it. When you take action, you trigger all kinds of things that will inevitably carry you to the success you want. Yet let those around you know that you're serious about your intention. People wake up and start paying attention. People with similar goals become aligned to you when you take action. You begin to learn things from your experience that cannot be learned from listening to others or reading books itself. You begin to get feedback about how to do it better, more efficiently, and more quickly. Things that once seemed confusing begin to become clear in your mind. Things that once appeared difficult begin to be easier because you get comfortable with it. Don't get too comfortable though. You begin to attract others who will support and encourage you. All manner of good things begin to flow in your direction once you begin actually to take action in what you're doing. So over the years of teaching and coaching, Jack Canfield, the people in his company and his seminars, he's found that the one thing that seems to separate winners from losers, more than anything else, is that winners actually take action. They simply get up and do what is to be done. Once they've developed a plan, they start. They get into motion. Even if they don't start perfectly, they learn from the mistakes, make the necessary corrections, then keep taking action to get what they want. All the time building momentum until they finally produce the results that they set out to produce, or something even better than they conceived in the beginning. So to be successful, you have to do what successful people do, and successful people are highly action-orientated. Once you create a vision, set goals, break them down into small steps, visualize and affirm your success, and then they choose to believe in themselves and their dreams. It's now time to take action. What's holding you back? Enroll in any course. It will help you get to that. Get the necessary training, make those sales calls, call the travel agent, start writing a book, start saving for the down payment on your home, join the health club, sign up for the piano lessons, or write the proposal. Remember, nothing happens until you actually take action. If your ship doesn't come in, hey, swim out to meet it. To demonstrate the power of taking action, Jack Canfield usually holds up a $100 bill in his seminars, and he says, who wants this $100 bill? Invariably, most people in the audience raise their hands. Some will wave their hands vigorously back and forth. Some will even shout out, I want it, or I'll take it, or give it to me. But he just stands there calmly holding out the bill until they get it. Eventually someone jumps out of their seat, rushes up in front of them and takes the bill out of his hand. After the person sits down, now 100% $100 richer for their efforts, he asks the audience, what did this person actually do that no one else in the room did? She got off her butt and took action. She did what was necessary to get the money. And that's exactly what you must do if you want to succeed in life. You must take action. And in most cases, the sooner the better. How many of you thought about getting up, he says, and coming and taking the money, but actually stopped yourself? Then he asked them to remember what they told themselves when they stopped them, what stopped them from getting up. So remember that. What stopped you It's good to analyse exactly what stopped you from doing it in the beginning, so you can identify it the next time and stop doing it again. And the usual answers are, I didn't want to look like I wanted it or needed it badly. I wasn't sure if you'd really give it to me. I was too far back in the room. Other people need it more than me. I didn't want to look greedy. I was afraid I might be doing something wrong, and then people would judge or laugh at me. I was waiting for further instructions. Procrastination. You could lose everything as a result of that. The opportunity is there, and when it appears, grab it with both hands. Good morning, Anne-Marie. Then he points out whatever things they said to stop themselves the same things that they say to themselves the rest of their lives all the time. One of the universal truths in life is how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're cautious here, you're probably cautious everywhere. If you hold yourself back for the fear of looking foolish here, you'll probably hold yourself back for the fear of looking foolish elsewhere. You have to identify those patterns of behavior and break them and break through them. So it's time to stop holding yourself back. This is the story of Ruben Gonzalez, who went for the Olympic gold. So ever since third grade, Ruben was told he wanted to be an Olympic athlete. He respected the Olympians because they were an example of what he believed in. They're willing to commit their goal and risk adversity in pursuit of it, and fail and keep trying until they actually succeed. But it was not until he got into college and he saw Scott Hamilton compete in the 1984 Sarajevo Games that he actually made the decision to train for the Olympics. Ruben then said to himself, if that little guy can do it, I can do it too. I'm going to be in the next Olympics. It's a done deal. I just have to find a sport to actually compete in. After doing a little research of Olympic sports, Ruben decided he needed to pick up a sport that would build his strengths on. But he knew he knew that he was a good athlete. He was a good athlete, but he wasn't a great athlete. His strength was perseverance. He never quit anything. In fact, he earned the nickname Bulldog when he was at university and college. He figured out that if he had to find a sport that he could maybe a sport with not very many broken bones, that there could be lots of quitters in, then maybe he could rise to the top of that attention rate. He finally settled on the luge. That is basically going down a bobsleigh run on a biscuit tin. He wrote to Sports Illustrated. This was obviously before the internet. And he asked, where did he go to learn to luge? They wrote back at Lake Placid, New York. That's where all the Olympians went in 1936 to 1980. That's where the track is. Ruben picked up the phone and called Lake Placid. I'm an athlete in Houston and I want to learn the luge so I can be in the Olympics in 4 years. Will you help me? The guy who answered the phone said, how old are you? 21 years old. 21? You're way too old. You're 10 years too late. We start them when they're 10 years old. Forget it, mate. Yeah, it's no happening. But Ruben couldn't forget it. He started to tell the man his life story to buy some time until he thought of something. Along the way, he happened to say he was born in Argentina. All of a sudden, the man at the other end of the phone got excited. Argentina? Why didn't you say so? If you go for Argentina, we'll help you. It turns out that the sport of the luge was in danger of actually being dropped from the Olympics because there weren't enough countries competing in the international level. So if you go for Argentina, and somehow we can get you into the top 50 ranking lugers in the world in 4 years, which is what we'll need to do to make the Olympics, it will add one more country. You'll add one more country to the luge, and it will make a stronger sport. If you make it, you'd be helping the US team. Then he added, before you come all the way to Lake Placid, you have to know two things. Number one, if you want to do it at your age, and you want to do it in 4 years, it will be brutal. 9 out of every 10 guys actually quit the luge. Number two, expect some broken bones. Ruben thought, great, this works right into my plan. I'm not a quitter, and the harder it is, the easier it is for me. A few days later, Ruben Gonzalez was walking down the main street in Lake Placid, looking for the US Olympic team training centre. A day later, he was in the beginners class with 14 other aspiring Olympians. The first day was miserable, and he even thought of quitting. But with the help of his friend Craig, he committed to the Olympics dream. And all through 14 of the other all the 14 other aspirants eventually quit before the end of the session, Ruben finishing the summer training. 4 grueling years later, Ruben Gonzalez realised his dream when he walked into the opening ceremonies of the 1988 Calgary Winter Olympics. He returned again in Alberta in 1992 and Salt Lake City for 2000 Winter Games. Ruben Gonzalez became, because he took immediate action and persistent action to his dream, will always be a 3-time Olympian. And as many Olympians do, Ruben has gone on to succeed a career as a motivational speaker. Do you remember Eddie the Eagle and his story? Well, it's all been documented in a film now. It's remarkable. You need to watch it. And I'll see you.